Play Plus Flow Theory Part 4. Enriched marking is flow modulation. Communicate and motivate while maintaining flow and shaping engagement with enriched marking. A marker is a communication device, something that coincides with action. Markers can be intentional or unintentional, physical or verbal, and can trigger or change the subjective tone and subjective aim of the critter being marked. Definition. Marker training is a form of operant conditioning in which a specific stimulus, often a sound like a clicker or a word like yes, is used to indicate to the animal that a behavior has been performed correctly and that a reward is coming. There are many variations of marker training, but most all of them operate on the operant conditioning principle and on the positive end of the spectrum. Play Plus is marker training, but it goes far beyond operant conditioning. Let's dive in. Play Plus enriched marking. There are 4 markers in Play Plus enriched marking: Inceptive, Expectant, Prospective, and Terminal. Each of these markers uses the same marker word, yes, but have completely different resolutions and meanings for dog and handler. Resolution and meaning are delivered through the handler's actions and intent. The 2 big ones, Inceptive and Expectant marking, are physical and mental respectively. The Inceptive marker is physical, classical, offered mid-chain and in flow, and is about action. The Expectant marker is mental, operant, and is followed by a pause before the next thing is going to happen. Each marker draws attention to different aspects of interaction and not only announces the correct action or skill, but also signals a shift of initiative. These markers control the rhythm of play, and they deliver belief, meaning, and understanding. In this piece, we will be exploring how enriched marking controls and shapes the rhythm of play and how they relate to flow. The 2 major markers of Play Plus enriched marking, Inceptive and Expectant, traffic in different ideas, almost in paired dialectical fashion. Note the relationship between left and right, action potential, play seeking, arousal control. How we mark matters. So that was an image that lays out the Inceptive versus Expectant marker. It's pretty cool. You should check out the actual article. Back to the task at hand. Inceptive marker, physical, classical, action. The Inceptive marker announces moments of coupling. It's given while the dog is performing discrete actions, chains, or complex skills, on shifts or changes in coupling. The consequence is the dog maintaining the initiative. The Inceptive marker provides the moment-by-moment feedback required for flow while filling in the gaps with meaningful information and affording the achievement of mini-goals. This brings the team together and proves that discrete actions of skills are relevant and to be remembered. The Inceptive marker draws attention to a discrete action or 2 important actions or moments of coupling in a complex skill or chain. This highlights critical moments of the skill without interrupting the flow. That's super important, guys. I can't tell you how important that is. To get information to the dog while the dog is in flow is a really big deal. Example. You are throwing a long-distance throw to your dog. The dog is sent around to time the throw. The disc is thrown 40 yards. The dog catches it and brings it back. Maybe you mark the catch, or maybe the give upon return. What will the dog remember here? What do you both know about the skill? What is memorable? Enter Inceptive marking. Dog is sent around and gets halfway around. Yes. This is the shift of coupling from the right side to the left side. Or, the disc is presented for throwing as a cookie or a cue. Take your pick. The dog looks at you or the disc. Yes. And the disc is thrown as a cookie or a cue. Take your pick. Dog collects for the catch. Yes. And leaps for the disc. Carpe cookie. Dog catches. Yes. And starts to turn back to the handler. Dog turns back to the handler, orients. Yes. Dog finishes and lines up with the handler on the retrieve. Yes. Dog arrives with the disc and is asked for the give. Yes, upon transfer. What do you both know about the skill? What is memorable? Now, each of these things can be marked, historically should be marked, right? we're not going to mark every single one on every single rep. For those of you guys who have watched me work and think I talk too much and whatnot, I'm marking at these moments. I have been for 20 years. All those markers that I give are given on specific moments of coupling or shifts in coupling. And I'll typically mark 1 or 2, maybe 3 of the aspects. Maybe the dog crossing, coming out at my knee pit, looking at me. If they collect in particular solid fashion, the catch maybe. And then the orientation. I like to mark the orientation. That's super important. All right, so that's inceptive marking. Let's go back to the piece. Expectant marker, mental, operant, affect. The expectant marker with a frozen pause after achievement is a tool to create rhythm within flow while delivering initiative to the handler, maintaining flow and engagement. This creates drama for the dog, taps expectancy, and affords the handler continued control over the pace of play. The expectant marker leverages expectancy to build drama and keep the dog engaged. It also creates a default weight. Example: you've just finished a difficult skill that starts from front position and are planning to do another repetition. Front position and the weight are not super stable. How do you keep the dog engaged and in position for the next repetition? How do you make this difficult challenge an opportunity? Enter expectant marking. Dog finishes eating the cookie from the last rep and orients to handler. Yes, Inceptive marker, and the dog trots in. Dog hits front position and is marked. Yes, and the handler freezes. This is the expectant marker. 1 to 3 seconds of this pregnant pause and the dog gives attention to see what's going to happen. Handler marks attention with the next cue. That's a prospective marker. Then delivers the trigger for the next rep. In this situation, the dog is strung along with opportunity and expectancy. The wait happens because you've not given the cookie yet. The dog knows what's working. Let's go. So the expectant marker creates rhythm and flow, or rhythm within flow, and the handler maintains initiative. That's really important. It's hard to keep the initiative while we're communicating with the dog. The traditional marker passes the initiative to the dog. The inceptive marker, the cookie for the inceptive marker, we mentioned it above, probably not very resonant though. The inceptive marker, the cookie for that, is the dog's continued initiative, right? They get the affirmation of, hey, I was right. And then they get the opportunity to keep going, to keep working. So the prospective marker, handler maintains the initiative. The inceptive marker, the dog maintains the initiative. And that allows us to throttle flow, to hit the gas or hit the brake, and to do so with opportunity. All right, back to the piece. Prospective marker, inceptive marking with the cue. The prospective marker announces the next move during this one. Like the inceptive marker, it is delivered on a moment of coupling, with the difference being that you're using the next cue rather than the positive marker. The prospective marker is a tool that fosters prospective control, so the dog and handler knows what's coming before the current trick or skill is completed. Giving the cue at the moment of coupling advances the flow with intentional performance of action. Prospective control is a key to flow. We need to know what's coming next so we can ensure that the current skill is resolved in a fashion that affords the next skill. The prospective marker does exactly this. Example: you're working a complicated chain of skills. The dog is struggling with the third skill, dog catch, in the chain, because he or she is out of position after the second skill, spin or twist. How do you solve this problem? Enter prospective marking. Skill 1 goes off with a hitch, like usual. Skill 2 is cued, twist, and marked with dog catch as the dog passes the halfway point of twist. The dog resolves the twist specifically to do the dog catch. Ding, ding, ding. Handler triggers the dog catch as the dog completes the twist. Solving this problem is much easier if the dog finishes the previous skill with knowledge and the intent to perform the next one. This is a huge thing. A lot of people do this in agility and in other sports, right? but they tend to do it on the behavior. The change here with Play Plus is that this is going to be given on moments of coupling. So I'm going to mark the twist when the dog hits halfway, or when the dog starts the twist, some moment that the coupling changes, like dog is facing me and I give the trigger and they couple with the skill, they start to turn. I would mark there with dog catch. Or I could wait until the dog is 3/4 or halfway there, right? Crosses the halfway point, dog catch. The resolution of the trick, the dog knowing what's coming next, means that the dog is going to finish the spin or twist in order to do the dog catch. And that's super awesome. All right, terminal marker, traditional positive marker. The terminal marker announces criteria met and is followed by a discrete reward. It is the textbook positive marker. Terminal markers are incompatible with flow, as it terminates cooperative interaction. The terminal marker is the textbook positive marker. It predicts a discrete reward, terminates thoughtful action, and activates appetitive desire. It is incompatible with flow and is used to deliver discrete reinforcement, to break the flow for a moment, or to bring this repetition to a successful conclusion. Enriched marking in the subjective tone. Enriched marking provides the mini goals for flow and mini achievements to bolster the subjective tone. Nothing makes you feel good like honest success or an honest try. Clear communication of intent and achievement, even if it's not the entire skill, brings the dog in on the process of play. The dog knows what's happening and knows you know what's up too. Enriched marking is team communication of actual actions and the skills that matter. Confident critters have a good subjective tone. Go to dog stuff. Enriched marking is a major pillar of Play Plus and an original philosophical construct in learning theory. Tapped into both the physical challenge and mental skill aspects of cooperative interaction, and drawing attention to the actual discrete actions and moments of coupling that matter, with positive impacts on flow. This gives the handler great flexibility and control over shaping skills and creating new ones, as well as granular communication and control while doing complex skills and chains. Enriched marking enables the team to flow, to develop rhythm, to keep things interesting, and to share information in real time for enhanced learning, engagement, and performance. That's it. Join my classes by becoming a patron of Pawsitive Vybe or join the Substack here. It's embarrassingly cheap. Stay tuned here. This place is going to drop some serious content, even for freebie friends. So subscribe in order to keep up with the happenings and opportunities to play. Peace and happy jamming. Have a good one.